My grandfather told me a story about the oath that sparked a revolution. He said that at the end of the 18th century, the colony of Saint-Domingue, today known as Haiti, was the richest in the Americas. Sugar and coffee built fortunes for plantation owners and for France, but that wealth stood on the backs of nearly 500,000 enslaved Africans. Death rates were brutal, new captives arrived constantly, and tension ran through every layer of society. Whites against free people of color, both against the enslaved majority, and local elites against distant French authority as the French Revolution shook Europe. By mid-August 1791, word spread across the northern province that the slave leaders from several plantations were going to secretly meet at night in a wooded place, later remembered as Bois Caïman near Cap Haitian. The aim wasn't spectacle, it was coordination. The meeting brought together enslaved drivers, artisans, field hands, and leaders from multiple plantations to coordinate an uprising. Two names are tied to that night: Duty Bookman, sometimes described as J. McInborn. He was remembered as a powerful organizer and spiritual leader who helped organize resistance networks. The other one is Cecile Fatima, remembered as a priestess, and is said to have led parts of the ceremony. The essential point wasn't spectacle. It was coordination and resolve. Those present that day reportedly pledged unity and secrecy and fixed a plan to ignite revolt across the North. Within days, on the nights of August 22nd to 23rd, 1791, plantations across the northern plain erupted. Cane fields and sugar works burned. Enslaved people seized weapons, destroyed sites of punishment, and targeted symbols of planter power. The region's economy, the most profitable in the Caribbean, convulsed virtually overnight. Colonial militias and later French regulars counterattacked, and a brutal war began. My grandfather would pause here and say, "Remember, an oath doesn't win a revolution by itself, it begins one." Out of this chaos emerged leaders who could organize disparate bands into an army, he continued. The most famous would be Toussaint Louverture, who rose to prominence after 1793. But in the first months, many local commanders like Jean-Francois, Biassou, Janot, and others mobilized thousands. The fighting seesawed through 1792 to 1793 as the French Republic tried to hold the colony. Amid civil wars among Spain, Britain, and the growing power of the insurgent enslaved, a turning point came when French commissioners on the island, needing black military support against royalist and foreign foes, moved toward emancipation. In 1793, emancipation was proclaimed locally. In February 1794, the French National Convention abolished slavery throughout French territories. Many black leaders, including Louverture, then aligned with France against Spain and Britain. Under Louverture's command, the former enslaved defeated rivals, expelled foreign armies, and restored much of the plantation economy, but only this time with paid labor and under tight military discipline. But the struggle was not over. In 1802, Napoleon Bonaparte sent a massive expedition to reassert control and to restore slavery. Fighting resumed at immense human cost. Louverture was deceived, arrested, and deported to France, where he died in April 1803 in the prison at Fort d'Anjou. Leadership passed to Jean-Jacques Dessalines, Henri Christophe, and Alexandre Passion, who unified the remaining forces against the French. Under Louverture's command, foreign armies were expelled, rivals subdued, and the economy partially restored with paid labor under tight military rules. The decisive clash came on November 18, 1803, broke the expedition's will. French troops evacuated. On January 1, 1804, Dessalines declared Haiti independent at Gonaives. The first free black republic and the first nation born from a successful slave revolution, Bois Caïman was the moment the plan came together. All those quiet connections and secret messages finally clicked into a clear, shared decision to rise, and they set a time to move. My grandfather would add one more point in the middle of the story. I want you to remember this story, because it shows what faith and organization can accomplish. Enslaved people, who the system tried to keep fragmented, built trust across plantations, set signals, chose timing, and committed to secrecy. Culture carried courage. Twining turned it into power. The revolution's victory changed the Atlantic world, shook imperial finances and strategy, fed abolitionist arguments, and terrified slaveholders. It also brought isolation and punitive policies toward Haiti for generations. Yet the central fact holds. People whom the colonial order called property organized themselves, fought, and founded a state. That's the story my grandfather gave me. An oath to freedom, a war that outlasted empires, and a country that named itself. I'm passing it on to you. We will not forget.